Hello and welcome into the form. Well, we're going to have a look at the meeting out of Taupo today. We do have the 10 races to look forward to from that venue. We're going to catch up with a couple of key trainers and also a key jockey for the meeting in Sam Weatherly. Let's have a look at the rundown for today on the form. First of all, here on the rundown, we'll catch up with Tony Pike. We'll hear from jockey Sam Weatherly and a big team of runners for Cambridge trainer Stephen Marsh. Joined by Tony Pike now to go through his runners, and Tony will go to race number 8, the first of them in Divine Diver, a horse who's dropping back from that open company grade to a 74 midweek.
Yeah, look, he's been there about an open company, just probably 2 or 3 weeks short of being an opening company horse. Obviously drops back to the 74 grade. He's got a nice draw on gate 1. He's in good solid form. He's an each way chance, but probably needs everything to go his way to win a race like that tomorrow.
Let's move on to race number 9 now, Pikey and Red Vienna. This horse was working home behind runners in a recent trial to finish into 4th position. Yet you happy with his progress?
Yeah, he's improved off that trial. His 2-year-old form was solid enough to be able to clear maidens reasonably quickly. It was just a quiet trial at Cambridge. He's worked well since. Trying to get a nice trip. Just track conditions could be a query if it becomes genuine slow. But we'll just keep an eye on the weather forecast over the weekend. If the track holds up, he's probably a nice each-way chance.
Move on to race number 10, and you've got the 3-year-old colt by Zeus Habana having his first start to the races. He was 3 wide on speed, and he ran away to win his trial by a length in the quarter.
Yeah, he's a really smart Zeus colt, obviously owned by Cambridge stud. I think he's probably got quite a big future in front of him. Probably still a touch immature, but definitely forward enough to clear maidens pretty early in the spring as a 3-year-old. He's another that's drawn to get a nice trip, but he is a very nice action horse, so he's another one. Being a later race, we'll just be keeping an eye on track conditions if he runs tomorrow, if we get a lot of rain overnight, but definitely a nice horse to follow going forward.
All right, and certainly a sharp race over the 1,000 metres for him, where he has drawn well, and all those sort of aspects around the race suit this horse for his first assignment.
Yeah, I think 1,000 metres first up around Taupo would probably suit him. He'll sit just off speed from the good gate, and probably the quicker the go, the better for him. He's a horse with a nice action and a pretty sustained finish on him, so they normally go pretty quick in those 1,000-metre races at Taupo, and if he can just sit off speed 5th or 6th, he's definitely good enough to probably slingshot them late.
All right, then. Well, let's talk about the weekend that's just gone, Tony. Look, you spoke openly about having a number of horses to the races, 28 of them, and of course you'd be expecting to have some winners if you're lining up 28 horses to the races. Were you expecting the sort of day that you did have?
Look, I thought we'd have a very good day at Christchurch, set down some really nice horses this year, and it was going to be a long 6 weeks for Dean Williams and Matt Ward down there if we hadn't got a winner on Saturday. Trying to turn the team around. So, yeah, it was great. They all performed. Obviously, a couple of wide barriers late in the day sort of made it hard for those 2 horses, but some really progressive 3-year-olds in amongst them. And, look, hopefully we can carry on the trend and have a really solid carnival down there at Riccarton.
Out of the 7 winners that you did have, what were the ones that really impressed you the most?
Look, Paranui Bay, obviously the fresh up runner on Friday. T. Rapper, he's a horse we've held in high regard for quite a while. He was going to that only off the back of 2 trials, and very hard to win an open 3-year-old race of that strength, with a horse with that limited experience. So, normally only good horses do that, and they normally go on to better things. So I think with that run under his belt, he'll learn a lot. He was very green in the run home, but he found enough to get the job done, and just natural improvement. I think he's potentially a very, very good 3-year-old going forward. Probably from Christchurch, there you go. She's running 2 stakes races on unsuitable tracks, but a filly that we've held in high regard. Obviously, first time on good ground on Saturday. Admittedly, just the maiden race, but she ran good time and put a real space in them. So I think she's definitely a chance heading forward to the 3-year-old fillies races down there. And Field of Gold's another one. Obviously, a weak maiden win at Te Rapa, but a horse we thought could progress through to a Guineas race. He could have done the job any easier on Saturday. Sat 3 deep, took over and won with plenty in hand, I thought. And obviously, first run down there should improve as well with only having 3 starts. So, a nice group of 3-year-olds to take forward, and they could all be a chance of getting to the Guineas yet.
Okay, next step for some of these horses, Paranui Bay, first of all, what's the likelihood of him? Where does he go? I mean, is he a horse that can get to Riccarton despite not nominated for the 2,000 Guineas, or what's the plan with him?
Yeah, so he's going to go forward. He's pulled up super. He's very lovely since, and he'll head to the Start Memorial at Te Rapa. Obviously, another step up to Stakes Company, but probably won't be much of a stronger field than what he met at Te Rapa. If he did the job nicely again there, then we'll talk to Brent Cherry, and there's a possibility we could pay the late nomination fee and he could get on a plane down south. So that'll definitely be his next start, and yeah, we'll assess things after that.
And then obviously the ones in Christchurch, things are pretty much mapped out, self-explanatory with where some of these horses head to next.
Yeah, definitely the two fillies, the STELLA, both go to the Ashburton 3-year-old 1400 metre race Saturday week, and Field of Gold will head to the 3-year-old 1600 metre race at Redden the week after. So just natural progression through the beginnings races down there.
And Providence Provides a horse who also won down there. What's the target for that horse?
She's come back a lot stronger this preparation. We thought she'd be very competitive first start. And, she did it pretty well and put a good space in them late. So she'll go to a rating 74, 1400 at Ashburton Saturday week. And look, if she happened to do the job really easily there, we might even try and sneak her into the Copeland's Mile off a lightweight.
All right, well, a great weekend for the stable. Congratulations, Tony. Let's hope there's more to come, and all the best coming up this afternoon as well.
Thank you, Big.
Joined by Sam Weatherly now to go through his rides for the day, and Sam will kick it off in the very first race on the program in PRIMO STELLA. This is a horse that is fresh up for Karen Thurston.
Yeah, I rode her a couple of times last prep, and she ran a couple of really good races. She's not overly big, and she was probably a little bit weak last prep. I haven't seen her this campaign, but I think 1800 first up will suit. She's a real stayer, even though she's only small and lightly framed. So she's got a bit of a tricky draw, but honestly, I think she's a pretty good each way hope, ability wise anyway.
All right, then we'll mark that one down in the first race. So we'll move on to your next ride in race number 3. Keen to get your thoughts on this one, and Dark Destroyer. Look, he's a horse that's impressed with what he's done so far, obviously at the trials, and a very good run where he'll take a lot from it, especially with the defeat behind a horse like Drum Major, who's then backed up that form.
Yeah, exactly. Drum Major came out and ran a really good race the other day at Hastings. Quite lucky to sort of pick this ride up just because of Grillsy being associated with Bugatti and that, but really happy to get on him. He's drawn a nice gate. It was a good solid effort the other day, and he'll hopefully he can posse up a little bit closer from that draw, and if he can sort of hit the line like he did last time, he should be right there in the finish.
And he just looks to be a good natural improver off the back of that first up run as well. The experience of going to the races, he looks like a nice horse going forward, at least anyway.
Yeah, well, Lance sort of said to me this morning, he's taken a lot of improvement from his last run, and it's pretty encouraging when Lance gives you a little bit of a inside word like that. So hopefully all goes well tomorrow.
Move on to race 4 now, Sam. You pick one up here for Jamie Richards, and this one is ARCEUS. A very well supported runner when beaten here at this venue over the 1100 metres. Prior to that, he's trolled up well. So what do you sort of gain off trolls and watching the video from last time with this runner?
Yeah, look, the trial was quite impressive when he won, and then maybe just put it down to lack of experience last start. So hopefully he can sort of bounce through last start and sort of live up to what he showed at the trials. And you've just always got to respect Jamie Richards' yard. So he's another nice ride.
Move on to race number 6. You rode one here for Dad, and this one also for Pam Brindley in Capistrano ROCS. She was a horse who put some good form lines together through last campaign, and then just tapered off near the end. What are we expecting from her first up? Yeah,
look, I'd actually probably be. I know her form doesn't show a lot, but she might be a doubtful runner, to be fair, if the track gets any worse than what it is. But the way she's sort of been working, and at the start of her prep last season, I think she ran about 5 placings in a row, and then won a nice race at Alizé, and probably just come to the end of her prep after that. So that's why her form tailed off a little bit. But she has got a lot of ability and is quite a good galloper. So if the track was okay and she did run, she would be definitely one to watch.
All right then. Okay. Race number 7. You ride Canny Man here. This one for the Wexford Stables. This horse won a trial. Boy, there was a lot to like about how he bounded to the line. He sort of just glided to the line with how he won that trial.
Yeah, he was really impressive. I think he's quite quite untapped yet. Like he's still a little bit new, but it was encouraging that he sort of got back and got him behind them and really hit the line and done it quite easily too. I think I'm pretty sure he'll run a really nice race tomorrow. He's probably one to watch going forward once he gets up over a little bit of ground and a couple more runs under his belt. But I know the team like him a lot, and he can be a nice feel too at the trials.
And a race number 10, Sam, Polaris is the horse you ride here for Jamie Richards. This one is a 3-year-old gelded son by Deep Field. He was a horse who was just in behind them when finishing third in a blanket finish at the trials. Yeah,
I actually quite liked his trial. Like he wasn't a whole lot of room there up the fence, and he sort of hit the line okay, and he's drawn barrier 1, so that's always going to help. And again from Jamie Richards' stable, so look, honestly, he probably wouldn't be the worst ride either.
Out of your rides, do you feel like there's one better than the other?
Probably tomorrow, Dark Destroyer looks a nice ride, but really excited to sort of see the other Wexford runner run tomorrow, and even Dad's horse as well. So there's a couple of nice rides there, and just something to look forward to anyway in the future. So it'd be nice just to get a couple on the board and get the ball rolling early on in the season.
Too right. And speaking about the weekend just gone, Sam, our Alley Cat was a very good winner on the middle day of the Hawke's Bay Spring Carnival. That looks like a nice horse to stick with how she won first up. Yeah, we were wrapped with her the other day. She's always had a lot of ability. She's not very big, but she can really gallop. Like she ran a super race behind Levante at the end of her prep last season, and it's good that she's just come out and backed that up and won really well. So here's hoping she's in for a good prep, and Vicky's got her in a really good space at the moment. So it'd be nice if we could win a big race on her. Too right. Well, it was a good one on the weekend. All the best coming up this afternoon as well, Sam, and go well for the season ahead, and let's hope there's a few winners there for you. Thanks a lot, BP. Cheers. Big team of runners this afternoon. Stephen, let's crack straight into it and go to Margaret Jean in the first race. This is a horse who actually ran a really good race first up. Been running fourth behind a couple of horses that have gone on to win since. You've had a trial since then. Yeah, we sort of wanted to go the 1600, but sort of lack of opportunity. So I gave her a trial just to fit in her. I thought her trial was nice, and 1800 should really suit as long as the track comes back to about a dead, I hope. And drawn very wide won't help, but yeah, she's a nice staying mare. Move on to race 2 now, Stephen Chicana. This also caught my eye a couple of times with how she ran last preparation. She was just working home quite nicely in a trial recently. Absolutely, yeah. I think she's coming up really nicely, this horse. 1400 would have been ideal, but she's Pearl Bonus qualified, so you got to have a crack when that money's up. She's drawn nicely. Michael McNabb in the saddle. She'll go a really cheeky race, but probably better off 14 on the mile. Also, Degree of Innocence in that race. What do you make of her, with her having her first start to the race as the daughter of a reliable man? Yeah, trial. Her last trial was really nice. She's drawn 1300 should be perfect in a fresh state. She'll jump. She'll put herself somewhere there up on the speed. And again, she's Pearl Bonus. She'll improve with the run, but she'll go nice. Okay, let's move on to race number 3 now. You have Dubai Diva. Look, a horse who didn't get all the favours you were looking for down the straight when first time presented over the 1300 metres here at Cambridge. Good second up chance, do you believe, with a good draw? I thought, yeah, good draw. I thought her run was very good at Cambridge. Danielle felt she should have won. I think getting on a sort of a grass track now, the 1300's ideal. I think with luck in the running, she's got to be a very big player. Move on to race 5 now, Stephen. A couple of chances here for the team. First of all, start at the top of the book in DARCI Palmer. He's a horse that lines up in these sort of races and always gives himself a chance. Absolutely. He's drawn out a little bit sticky gait. He'll race well. Look, he's sort of a live chance, but has drawn out a bit, so it's going to need a bit of luck. He's the man. Look good through the autumn and early part of the winter last preparation. How's his progress coming along? I think he's coming up better than last preparation. He'll need sort of the 1400 mile to show the best, but this is a good kickoff race for him.
but he's certainly one you'll be able to follow through his campaign.
And also you got number 10 in the race, and IMAREADY. Your thoughts on her?
Been a bit disappointing of late. Blinkers go on, she'll jump, she'll put herself up on the speed, but she really does need to improve sharply.
All right, let's move on to race 6 now, Stephen. Illumination. She was a horse who was stakes placed last season in the Uncle Remus behind Brando. She was a horse who's run third at the trials recently.
Yeah, like the way she's coming up. She's drawn a bad gate. She'll get back a bit from the draw. If she's hitting the line good, I'll be very happy. I think she's coming up great, and she'll be stepped up to the 14 from here. So probably not... it won't be her day today, but I think you can follow her again once she gets up over the 1400 and then up to the 16. She'll be worth following.
Strong chance in the race. Must be Sophistical, Stephen. When you look at last season, good draw on Wednesday, but also the trial run. I know you were 6 lengths off the 2 in front of you, but they've both won at Hawke's Bay. They've both won on the weekend, one at Hawke's Bay, one at Riccarton, and even the 4th horse behind you's come out and won. How forward is she to go?
Yeah, funny enough, I was just looking at that this morning, actually. She's going great guns. Really happy with her. I think she's pretty classy mare, and I thought she was one of our better chances today for sure.
Yeah, she's a horse that's improved off last season?
Absolutely. Well, this is going to be her first start for us, but she just looks a hell of a lot stronger. Lovely type of mare, and she's certainly forward enough. We've just sort of been waiting for the right track. I've been sort of had her in a couple of times, been heavy tracks, and she should get the and actually at Te Rapa on Saturday she drew I think 18. So she gets a nice draw. She should get a perfect track, and she's certainly forward enough to win.
All right, maiden over 1,100 metres, race number 7, Radukanu. First of all, this is a 4-year mare by Furlax, who pushed forward and was beaten just half the length at the trials recently.
Yeah, drawn wide. She'll be going back a bit from that barrier, but she'll be hitting the line good. Actually, she's a mare I do really like, and I think she's one you can follow, but just shame about that draw. She's just going to have to get a little bit further back than we would have liked, but she'll be doing her best work at the line.
JUSTASCOOTA was able to win his most recent trial. It was there at Cambridge on the 14th of September, getting up by half a head. How do you rate his chances?
Yeah, I would have liked him a lot more with a good barrier. He's drawn the outside gate, 15. He's going to get back, hit the line. It's sort of a lot of these horses in sort of good, just a good kickoff race, and a nice track, shorter distance. So watch him hitting the line well late, and probably one you can follow out of here. Maybe second up at maybe 1200 with a better draw.
And what about La Bella BEALS? Ran third in a 3-horse race last time out. Heavy track, a better surface coming up will be helpful.
Yeah, certainly hope so. I thought she'd go very close to winning that race at Matamata. I think back on this sort of track, a better track, a dead track, she'll be good. She's drawn well. She's a filly we do rate very highly. And I'd like to see her sort of, she's taken on the older horses, but I'd like to see her pull out something here and go huge. If she can just relax on the running, I think she's a real chance. I think she's well above average, but just yet to put it together.
All right, let's move on to race number 9. I know you've got one of these in the garage, BUGATTI. What are your thoughts on BUGATTI coming into this?
Yeah, I wish I had one in the garage.
Sorry, it was a Harley. Sorry, it was a Harley, wasn't it?
Yeah, Harley Davidson. Yeah, that's close enough to BUGATTI, isn't it? I think his trials have been really good. I even liked his trials as a 2-year-old. His one trial there, Tiara, one day. But he's also going really good. He's drawn perfectly. He looks a real big chance, I thought.
Leading Man also in that race?
Yeah, we've just been sort of first few trials, we're really pumping him out of the gates, trying to probably ride him a little bit upside down. We rode him cold in his last trial. He hit the line nicely. He'll be ridden off the speed again, and he's certainly, he'll be around the finish, but he'll be stepped up to the more suitable 1200 from here. But he's one you can, you wouldn't leave him out, but whether the 1000 might be a bit sharp for him.
And race number 10, Divine SAVA. This horse was enormous last preparation. One of those runs behind Turn the Ace last season as a late 2-year-old. She's come back at the trials recently with a good run into second position. She a horse that we look out for here in the last? Yeah, very much so. I think she's well above average. She's shown us heaps last prep. Her first trial this time, and she's got a little bit of a mind of her own. She just fought the rider the whole trial. Her last trial was a lot better. If she can just relax and run in, I think it'll take a pretty decent one to beat her. Okay. Also, you got in the race Has to Be Fast, runner number 11. She's a filly by Perencanto.
Very nice filly. again, this is a kick-off point for her. She'll be better suited sort of when she gets to the 1200, drawn out a bit, she'll just settle. As long as she hits the line nicely, she's definitely a nice filly on the way up.
Social distance, second up, first up this preparation. This is for the social racing team, runner number 12.
Yeah, she's a nice filly in the makings. She's drawn out a bit. She's got the claimer on, taking 2 kilos off her back. Again, she's drawn wide. Good kick-off race for her. If she can just get back, get over a few in the straight, would be very happy. She'll be stepped up to the 1200, but she can do a little bit wrong, and certainly the penny hasn't dropped with her.
And AUBREE, now this is a horse that's having just your second start for you. Over the preparation from last season, she ran a super race first up as a 2-year-old. What are we expecting here in the last race?
Yeah, I kicked her off on the synthetic. Just didn't want to run her on a heavy track. And she didn't really. She sort of got on behind the speed, didn't do a lot. So I put the blinkers on her. She's drawn nicely. She just needs one more scratching to get in. I think with the blinkers on, I think she can really turn her form around. She's always shown us plenty at home. And, yeah, I'd certainly like to think she gets the right run, Grillsy in the saddle. She can turn it up a bit.
All right, well, we've spoken about a lot of horses. Is there a couple there that we can be a little bit confident about?
Yeah, I think there are. I'd like to think Sophistical might be the best of them. Then you got horses like Bugatti should go very good, Divine SAVA. I sort of like a lot of them throughout the day. A lot are going to be thereabouts. You know, it's good competitive racing, but yeah, maybe Sophistical on top and a few of those 3-year-olds to follow as well.
All right, just from the weekend gone, Stephen, just wanted to touch on the run of Horde the Bourbon. Horse who really caught the eye on the Hawke's Bay Guineas. Must have been really happy with what he was able to produce in that race.
I thought the run was hell of a good. You know, he just sort of got back on the rail. They didn't go overly hard, but when he got out late, he hit the line extremely well. He's on a path to the 2,000 guineas. And I think once he gets to the big mile at Riccarton, that's going to be, you'll see a lot better horses there again for sure. But he's pretty high class, we think.
How do you get there? Is there a chance of maybe trying to get a kill back in maiden grade? Because of course he hasn't won a race, so is there a chance of maybe trying to explore that option?
Well, look, we'll look at Sarton Day at Te Rapa, and we'll probably either go. I'll nominate him for the Annie Sarton, but there's a maiden 14 and a maiden mile on the same day, so we'll keep our options right open. He'll run one of those races and he'll just fly down late in the piece. You know, he's a colt. I just didn't really want to get him out of his environment for too long. So, yeah, his final race will be that day, whether it be the Sarton or a maidens, yet to be decided.
All right, and how's the rest of the team coming along as we sort of are a month down into the spring?
Yeah, look, we're just waiting for the tracks to settle, and we've got a lot of nice horses. I mean, a lot of these 3-year-olds kicking off tomorrow. You know, there's going to be a fair few of them you can follow. We've had a little bit of a sort of in and out sort of start to the season, but I think we've got a lot of nice horses there, and you know, I think you'll see some nice ones there at Taupo, that's for sure.
Nice one. All right, thanks for your time, Stephen, and hopefully you can kick home a couple of winners there as well.
Beauty. Thanks, PP.
Well, that completes the form for today. Big thanks to our guests, Stephen Marsh, Tony Pike, and also Sam Weatherly. We'll be back again with the form where Emily Bosson will be running the cutter as we look towards our meeting out of Awapuni. We'll catch you then.